here to bring to you a very simple message from Goswami Tulsidas's Ramcharitmanas. The chapter of the book is Ayodhya Kand. At the point of the Katha, Goswami Tulsidas is telling us that Prabhu Shri Ram has been exiled to the forest for 14 years, 14 varas, where Mata Kaikeyi asks for the boons that Bharat should be crowned Yudraj, king of Ayodhya, and Shri Ram should be exiled for 14 years. Shri Ram was a dutiful son. He set about to the forest. On the eve of being crowned king of Ayodhya, when he was being groomed to receive the leadership of Ayodhya, my dear friends, it was taken away from him. Which tells us one thing here tonight. Please don't take things for granted. We make many, many plans in the world, but my dear friends, because of karma, other things happened. So Shri Ram, the Lord who have come onto the face of the earth to lead by example, he is teaching us, don't take things for granted in this world. He accepted the kingdom of the forest. He said to his better half, Shri Sita, "O Devi, I want you to remain in Ayodhya." Shri Sita said to him, "O Bhagwan, if your home is in the wilderness, then there shall be my heaven." And she accompanied him like a dutiful wife. He said to Lakshmana, "O Lakshmana, I want you to remain in Ayodhya and look after my father, look after my parents." Lakshman says, "Oh Bhaiya, if you don't allow me to go with you in the forest, then when you come back after 14 varas, I will not be alive. Mar gaye, I will be dead." So then Prabhu Shri Ram says to Bhaiya Lakshman, if you want to go with me in the forest, then you must get permission. In life, my dear friends, there is always an avenue where we must get permission. Nothing's happened like this. The wife get permission from the husband and vice versa. Children get permission from their parents and vice versa. My dear friends, we don't just work like the click of a finger. Tulsidas is saying, Lakshmana went to his Dulahin, who was Urmila, and he says, "Oh Devi, my brother has a predicament. He has been exiled to the forest for 14 years. And if only you give me permission, I will stand at his side. I will serve him. I will defend anything that comes in his path." My dear friends, the consort of Lakshmana gave permission, and Lakshmana accompanied his brother. Tulsidas says, the three Murtis, Ram, Lakshmana, and Shri Sita, they went into the forest. Having gone into the forest, my dear friends, while perusing the forest, in the Aranya forest, Goswami Tulsidas tells us of a beautiful scenario. While Shri Ram was walking into the forest, and Lakshmana right to the back of him, Shri Sita next to Shri Ram stopped walking, and there he is looking. Tulsidas tells us this is what he saw. What he saw? Man lagakar suno. Tulsidas tells us, listen with rapt attention. You know, my dear friends, I tell you tonight, listening is an art. There are many people listen, but they don't hear. I want you tonight, my dear friends, to listen to this beautiful message from this Tulsi Ramaayan. What Shri Ram saw, what took him back, he is dazed. Tulsidas tells us. Dekat ban sar shaila suhaye Valmiki Katha Prabhu aaye Jai Ram Shri Ram. सुहावन सुंदर गिरी कानन जल पावन राम 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 शरण सरोज बीत भूले कुंजत मंजू रस भूले राम 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 खग मृग विपुल कहाहल करही रहित बैर प्रभु दित मन चरही बोलो राम 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 बोलो राम राम बोलो राम राम बोलो राम 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 Tulsidas is saying that Prabhu Shri Ram, he is walking into the Aranya forest. Dekapat Daina Sailor Suhaye, Valmiki Ashram Prabhu Aye. He came upon the ashram, the home of Valmiki. Valmiki, my dear friends, was a renowned and great sage. He had his ashram, his hermitage, his cottage in this part of the forest. And Tulsidas is saying that Sri Ram from a distance, this is what he recognized. He recognized a bhavan, something special, a house built on a parvat, a hill. He further saw surrounding this house or this ashram, he saw a lake of running water. He further saw, my dear friends, beautiful fruit trees, fully loaded with fruits, luscious ones. Surrounding this home, this ashram, he saw, my dear friends, flowers of all different type. Pushpadik saman. Flowers that you can use for decorative purposes, like beautiful malas, and flowers that you can pick and offer to the lotus-like feet of the Lord. He saw all this, and he also saw animals. Khag, mriga, bipul, kulahal, karahi. He saw animals of all different types, drinking from the lake. And every one of these animals, my dear friends, they were in harmony, they were in unity, and they were enjoying Mother Nature. When Sri Ram saw that, it dawned upon him that there must be a great personality who lives here. He also saw Hari Mandir. He saw a place where a person will perform puja on a daily basis. And when he saw that, Goswami Tulsidas says, he is reminiscing how I wish that my home, my palace could have been like this. I tell you tonight, my dear friends, there are many of us who only live in houses. But it's the quest for every single one of us to transform our houses into homes, into bhavan. Just like all the animals, all the brothers and sisters and children, all the family members will drink of the water that surrounds that home, just like the animal. You see, my dear friends, we learn messages from the creatures of the world. Valmiki, he had a home filled with peace. My dear friends, the late Sheena Devsaran, together with Mr. Jawaharlal Devsaran, they built their home, and they have all these amenities that I explained here to you. They have the mandir of the Lord, easily accessed for them to pray. They have fruit trees in their premises. They have flowers of all different types. And my dear friends, I don't want to call Ravi a lion. I don't want to call Kavita a bird. But these are the children. These are the different animals that drink of the water. And my dear friends, this was the home that Sheena Devsaran, together with her husband, they built for themselves. Tulsidas is saying that we as human beings, if we want to live in unity and peace and harmony, we have to learn to build this type of environment, we have to learn to transform our Taj Mahals. I heard DJ Mahmood telling people there's a Taj Mahal outside. Everybody gone looking for a Taj Mahal. We have to transform our physical structure, that which we live in, into bhavans, that where our children, husbands and wife, family members would live in unity as how the Lord meant it to be. My dear friends, this scenario has been inculcated in this family through the medium of the late Sheena Dev Sarand. Shriram is reminiscing, oh, how I wish that my home. So to my dear friends, there are many individuals. Most of you I can't see because of the fancy lights and so forth tonight. But I'm telling you, my dear friends, there are many of us who will live in houses. And the quest is for us to transform these houses into homes. That way our children will live in peace and harmony. I'll tell you, my dear friends, the fruits don't fall far from the... I'm not hearing you. The fruits don't fall far from the tree. What parents inculcate in their children's hearts and mind, that is what is going to befall them in the world. Well, my dear friends, Goswami Tulsidas has given us a recipe how to transform our houses into homes. Very briefly, I tell you, a home, a premises which there is no flowers, most likely that person may not pray. Now you might tell me, I don't need flowers to pray. Most likely, my dear friends, a home where there is no running water. Do you know, my dear friends, there are many individuals in the world today who don't have the basic commodity as water. Our scriptures tells us cleanliness is next to godliness. Water is a basic commodity that takes us to a different level, a different height. Tulsidas is saying Shriram saw a mandir. How many of us have our mandirs in our homes? How many of us, my dear friends, some people like to put their pictures of the divine outside in the yard. And for the mere fact, they are saying that if they put the picture of Hanuman inside of the bedroom, Hanuman will see everything that they are doing. How foolish that can be. Remember, my dear friends, God is here, He is there, and He is everywhere. God could never be hidden. Some people say, oh, look how bad that Pandit is. He make them Punti Singhasan in front of the Murti. My dear friends, we could never block God. We could never hide God. God is here, there, and everywhere. Tulsidas is saying, Shriram is saying that I must meet that personality who lives on these premises. My dear friends, you know, sometimes when you go places and you see beautiful things, you feel attracted to it. Like magna, ecstatic. Well, Goswami Tulsidas is saying that Shriram, he ventured off into the home of Valmiki. Tulsidas tells us.
Muni Katha Rama Dandavat Inha Ashirvad Rabi Pravar Inha Jaya Rama Sri Ram Jaya Jaya
Goswami Tulsidas is saying, Shri Ram entered into the premises of the great sage Valmiki Muni. My dear friends, he bowed onto the feet, getting the blessings of the great Muni. And my dear friends, Valmiki Muni was so happy to welcome the Lord into his premises. He had all the ingredients waiting patiently just to worship. And Tulsidas is saying that Prabhu Shri Ram was offered some sort of hospitality. My dear friends, I want to tell you here today, hospitality is one of the most important things in our dharma. How we treat people, how we cope with people, how we welcome people, what we say to people, how we say to them, all is very, very important. My dear friends, for the purpose of the Katha, hospitality was extended in a lavish way. Tulsidas is saying that Valmiki Muni offered Shri Ram whatever he had to eat. And my dear friend, Shri Ram ate of it. Man mein prasann hue. He was very, very comfortable and very, very happy. I want to tell you, my dear friends, there is an art in giving. If you give in the right manner, then, my dear friends, you get the comfort zone of receiving the blessing of giving. If you have to give, my dear friends, you must give it wholeheartedly. Don't give it, my dear friends, and talk about it. It will make no sense. Valmiki, however little it was, he gave it to Shri Ram, and Shri Ram accepted it. Never did he complain. In today's world, my dear friends, everybody is complaining. Everybody is complaining. My dear friends, complaining will get us nowhere. The time has come for us to act. Goswami Tulsidas is saying that Shri Ram is asking Valmiki something. He says, O Valmiki, asajiya jani kahiya soitahu siya saumitra sahita tahi jahu tahara chiruchira puran trunashala basa karo kuch kala kripala. Shri Ram is asking Valmiki, O Valmiki, I want you to indicate to me a spot where I should reside together with my Dharam-patni, Shri Sita, and also with Lakshman Bhaiya. But I want you to indicate to me a spot where I must reside, that I wouldn't be of any burden, I wouldn't be of any difficulty or cause any hardships and problems to anyone in the world. I want to live a very simple and ordinary life. My dear friends, everybody wants to live a very simple and ordinary life until things change. And then all the ordinary and simple is tossed out of the world. Well, Shri Ram is saying, I don't want to bother anybody. More so, I don't want to bother the saints and sages from performing their tapasya in this part of the forest. And therefore, Valmiki is asking, Oh Lord, tell me, is there a place that where you are not? Niti? You are here, you are there, you are Avinashi. If you could indicate to me a spot where you are not, well, then I can tell you where to reside. My dear friends, in a few chaupais, in a few minutes, I'll summarize this katha to tell you. Goswami Tulsidas tell us how to transform our houses into homes. And now he's going to tell us, my dear friends, how to transform this body into a beautiful place where the Lord resides. Valmiki is saying, Oh Lord, reside in those individual heart who possess these capabilities. What he says? Jinnake Shravana Samudra Samana. He says, I want you to reside in those individuals' heart whose airs as vast as the ocean, as the Samudra. Now, my dear friends, Shri Valmiki is not telling Shri Ram to reside in those individuals' heart who have big airs like the ocean. He's saying symbolically, just like the ocean accepts all the rivulets of the world. The ocean will accept all the rivulets, all the runoff of the water, and never would the ocean says, I am fed up. Never would the ocean renege on any of these waters. Goswami Tulsidas is saying, Prabhu Shri Ram is being told by Valmiki, reside in those individuals who use their ears to listen to the charitra, to listen to the beautiful bhajans, to listen to the leelas of you, Lord, without getting fed up. You know, my dear friends, I'll tell you, There are some individuals, from the time they hear the Baba say, Om, they fall asleep. There are some individuals, from it, it's not that the Baba is boring or no, they shut off. It could be, my dear friend, that they are real tired. But Goswami Tulsidas is saying that, oh Lord, reside in those individuals' heart who never get fed up of listening to your charitra, listening to the beautiful bhajans that is being sung. I ask you here tonight, are you such a recipient? Are you such a person? Do you possess that capabilities? Well, I am reading this katha for you tonight, my dear friends, because I told you, Sheena Didi, she built her family. And all those ingredients, she transformed her house into a bhavan. And my dear friends, she has also transformed her body into a bhavan of the Lord. And all these credentials that Shriram is saying, Lochana Chataka Jina Kari Rake, those individuals who uses their eyes like the chatak bird. There's a beautiful bird that called it chatak. And this bird, my dear friends, it is stated, this bird look very carefully at the moon. You know, in Hinduism, we have 15 days bright half and 15 days dark half. On the 30th day of the month, it is called Purnima, or the full moon. It don't come 28 days. And my dear friends, somewhere it is recorded that today that the moon has engulfed and covered the sun. There are many individuals who are saying that is a beautiful sight to look at. Our scriptures tell us, my dear friends, it doesn't make sense looking at that. Nothing good will come from that. Scientists tell you that if you look at that with your naked eyes, you can damage your eyes. But everybody is inquisitive. They want to look. What for them to look at, they don't want to look. Goswami Tulsidas is saying, the Chatak bird looks at the moon from day 1 until the 30th day. And then, my dear friends, the moon gives us the Swati, the Nachatra. And then, my dear friends, what happens? The bird drinks of that water. Else that bird does not drink the water. Do you think, my dear friends, that we can gaze upon divinity? Here we are talking, the Lord is saying, reside in those individuals' heart who uses the eyes to do good things. And you know, my dear friends, we can use the eyes just as the head is to do bad things. If you can use the eyes to see only the good in the world and leave the bad behind, then, my dear friends, you have transgressed into something divine. Tulsidas is saying in this duha, very importantly, something about the tongue. What about the tongue he is saying? Listen.
Duni suni deho Rama, duni suni deho Ram, Rama Rama ho. Duni suni deho Ram, duni suni deho Rama Rama Rama. Hari ho Ram milan kab ho, ande savala. तुम्हार मानस विमल हो राम राम हो हर सीन जिहयन जासु अंदेसवा लागे रही हरि हो राम मिलन मुख पल गुण गण चुगहि राम 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 हो राम बसहु हियतासु अंदेसवा लागे रही
हरि हो राम मिलन प्रभो अंदेसवा लागे
हरि हो दुनी सुनी दे हो राम दुनी सुनी दे हो राम 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 हरि हो राम मिलन प्रभो अंदेसवा
Bolo Shri Raja Ramachandra ki. Goswami Tulsidas is saying, those individuals who uses their tongue to sing the praises of the Lord reside in those individuals' heart. You know, sometimes, my dear friends, if we sing a beautiful kirtan, Hare Rama, and we ask people to sing, People don't want to sing. I wonder if we should try that here tonight, huh? Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Well, my dear friends, I can't see you and I can't hear you. But to tell you this, an opportunity lost is one may never ever come your way. When you get an opportunity to use the gift of the tongue to glorify the Lord, don't waste that opportunity. For none of us, we are guaranteed, my dear friends, that we can open our eyes in the morning. So therefore, when you get that opportunity to chant the name of the Lord, to glorify Bhagwan, my dear friends, we must not waste that opportunity. Also, my dear friends, I want to say to you, not only must we use the tongue to glorify the Lord, but my dear friend, you must never use the tongue to do ill and bad things. Should I explain that to you? We must never use the tongue to do ill and bad things. We must never use the tongue to say wrong things. We must never use the tongue to cause confusion. My dear friends, that will be defeating the purpose. And then we have to ask ourselves, do you really have divinity within you? I am asking you here tonight, do you think that you possess the capability, having the right capacity of the listening capacity? Do you think you uses your eyes in the right manner? Do you think you uses your tongue in the right manner? Goswami Tulsidas says, if you use these things in the right way and it was prescribed to do, then the Lord will reside in those individuals' heart. And he says, O Prabhu Shri Ram, reside in those individuals' heart who possess those capabilities. Prabhu Prasad Suchi Subhaga Suhasa Sada Raja Sulai Nityanasha. He says, reside in those individuals who inhale the aroma. And I want to say the aroma, my dear friends, is not Marlboro Lights. The aroma I'm talking about, my dear friends, is not Dimore. I don't know if Anup Jolata ji knows about Dimore. The aroma we talks about, my dear friends, is the aroma of the sacrificial arena. The aroma of the ingredients offered into the Havan Kund. The aroma that is generated from Yajna. The prasad, the blessed offering, those individuals who take in those scent, O Prabhu, reside in those individuals' heart. My dear friends, I'll tell you one more. Goswami Tulsidas says, those individuals who bow their head in reverence, those individuals, those children who bow their head in reverence to their mother and father, those individuals who bow their heads to the gurus, to the elders in society, O Prabhu, reside in those individuals' heart. And if you reside in those individual heart, they will be the most comfortable place for you to be, together with Sri Sita and Lakshmana. And also, my dear friends, this last chaupai I will sing for you, Goswami Tulsidas used these very beautiful words. This is what he says.
Kama krodha mad man myuha. Kama krodha mad man moha. Lobhan shobhan raga nadroha. Jaya Rama Sri Rama Jaya. जिनके कपट न दुम भन माया तिनके हृदय बसहु रघुराया जय राम
मान मोहा, जिनके नहीं लोभा शोभा राग द्रोही. He says, reside in those individuals' heart who rid themselves of anger, who rid themselves of attachments, who rid themselves of all these negative vasanas. My dear friend, these negative vasanas always contaminate the human mind. Goswami Tulsidas is telling Sri Ram, reside in those individuals' heart who is free of anger. If I were to ask you tonight, my dear friends, if is there anybody in this audience who can justifiably say that I don't get angry? Even Lord Shiva, when he got angry, when Satima went and cremated herself at her father-in-law's home, he got angry and he loosed his jata and he dashed it to the ground. He became angry. He created a veer to destroy the yajna of Daksh Prajapati. Everybody get angry from time to time. The quest is how do we control that anger? From anger, my dear friends, it breeds violence. From violence, my dear friends, we get ourselves in all sorts of troubles, confusion. He says, "O Prabhu, reside in those individuals' heart who possess these capabilities." My dear friends, I am not here tonight to impress you that I can sing a few chaupais and talk a little English. I am here to just highlight these few chaupais tonight to tell you the late Dirishina Devsharan, she possessed those capabilities. On the day of the funeral, I made this proclamation and statement, don't worry about Sheena Devsaran, for she lived her life. She lived her life by example. She brought up her children. She inculcated into them the good traits and habits. She would have dealt with Mr. Devsaran in her own way. But my dear friends, these negative vasanas, she would have rid herself of these negativities. Don't worry about Sheena Devsaran. She's in a much, much better place. She has transformed her home, or rather her house, that her husband built for her, into a bhavan, that there were great peace and stability. Unfortunately, my dear friends, through whatever reason, she lost that home. And in her dying stage, she keep asking her husband, I have lost my home. And he says to her, don't worry about that house. Don't worry about that house. Sheena, I will build you a better one. Isn't that so, Mr. Devsaran? Didi Sheena went on to pass away through complication health-wise. But my dear friends, Mr. Devsaran, he fulfilled that promise. It is not 100% complete, but with the man he is, he will complete it in a few days' time. He fulfilled towards the promise he made towards his wife. And I'm saying to you, my dear friends, according to our scriptures, and if there's any pundits in the audience, please bear with me, I can't see them to see who they are. But our scriptures tells us right in this very same book, if a woman who is married to her husband, and she die in that marriage first, and her husband sent her away as a suhagin, as a bride, she goes to a special place, and that place is called Shweta Vadan. And she awaits the arrival of her pati for performing Pativrata Dharma Sakti, that seva to her husband. My dear friend, 5 years have gone. We have had the slogan, gone but will never ever be forgotten. The name Sheena Devsaran will never ever be forgotten in this family and otherwise, who have made that relationship. Anup Jalota ji is here because of that connection which he had with his family. And he's here to make special renditions in a few minutes from now. So my dear friends, my task here tonight is not to impress you that I can read this from the scriptures. Mr. Devsaran wanted a Ramayana. This is what his wife loved. And this is what he wanted to do on this special occasion. I say to you tonight, my dear friends, don't worry about your mother. Children, she is in a far off better place. What I must say to Mr. Devsaran at this point in time, he's not looking at me, he's looking at the audience. But I want to say to him that his task has just begun. Now that he has completed or almost completed his bhavan, his house, it is his task to transform it into a bhavan, into a home, where all the animals, I call you animals, children, all the siblings will live together in peace, in harmony, together with the Father. My dear friends, this was the life of Sheena Devsaran. I often tell people, she's in a far better place. And one of the Hindu prayer we don't pray is to come back on the face of this earth. We always ask the Lord that when we leave this world, we attain moksha, we attain liberation. But my dear friends, I'll tell you, every single year, for the past 5 years, this is the 5th, Mr. Devsaran has lavish function like this in memory of his wife. He is a no-nonsense man. He is a man to his word. He is a true replica of Raghukulariti Sadachaliyai. When he give his word, he upkeep it. So my dear friends, tonight we came to remember that loved one who have gone to the great beyond. I think I have spoken enough. As I said, time did not justify me to expound and expatiate this katha, but maybe some other time, my dear friends, I will unravel this katha in its depths to let you know how great this message is, where Tulsidas tells us, transforming your houses into home is only one thing, but we have to transform our life, this body, our life, into a bhavan where the Lord resides. And where is God to be found? He is within our hearts. So my dear friends, this is my message for you tonight. May the soul, may the atma of Didi Sheena Devsaran, may she rest in